Alright, it's 6 a.m. We're getting ready to take our first adventure here in Cancun. To see Chichen Itza, which is one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. We already went and saw the Taj in November when we were in India, so we're checking another one off our list. Hopefully we're going to check 2 more off this year, but for now we're concentrating on Chichen Itza. So our driver is supposed to be here in about 10 minutes. They say that they had room service here at the hotel 24/7. But when Alex went to order coffee this morning, they did not have coffee at room service because it wasn't part of the late night menu. So I'm not sure how that works really. So we've been relegated to using our Nespresso pods. So it's not great coffee, but it's coffee, or it's brown water that tastes like coffee. We're gonna go find our driver and get headed towards Chichen Itza. So we finally made it to Chichen Itza. We got here right at 8 when it opened. As you can see, we don't really have a whole lot of people here yet. It's still early. Yeah, it's actually pretty impressive. I wasn't sure how impressive it was going to be, but
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, compared to Tulum, way better.
Well, yeah.
We did end up booking a private tour today. After the Taj Mahal, I wasn't really sure that we wanted to do a private tour, but it was about a 2-hour drive from Cancun to here, so we did book a private tour. We've got a guide with us, Chris. He's been really good so far. Yeah, he's done a couple pictures for us already. He's making sure we have plenty of time to shoot our videos. So we're gonna shoot a little bit more and follow along. Alright, so we just finished our tour, and that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Our guide was good. Did a lot of reading out in this place before we came just because sometimes the tours are lacking, but even with all the reading that I did, he filled in some gaps and added to some of it. But now we're going to walk around and maybe go back and look at some of these places. We have a little bit of free time, maybe an hour or so, that we can go back, spend as much time looking. We knocked out the whole circuit in about 2 hours, so it's going to be busier. There's already a lot more people wandering back through.
It's really nice weather, so we're able just to kind of walk around, not sweat. Like Owen said, we're just going to walk around and shoot some more photos and do a little shopping.
Yes. You got to do a lot of shopping?
No.
You want any handmade stuff?
No.
They give you a good deal.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know.
It's really windy, so the audio may be really poor. They don't allow you to bring microphones in to the site, so it was a lot like the Taj Mahal. And leading off on that, we'll just talk about what you can and can't bring in camera-wise. They say you're not allowed to bring in like GoPros and professional recording equipment. And
I actually saw that they would charge you $50.
50 pesos. 50 pesos per item for cameras, monopods, that kind of thing. We actually walked in. I've got 2 GoPros and the Osmo and a selfie stick. Nobody ever checked. I actually saw somebody out here walking around with a tripod, so I think it really is luck of the draw who's running security at the gate. But just know that if you come, be mindful that some of those things are prohibited. Some of those things you can bring in, but you may be charged a small fee for that. Like when we walked in, I pulled out my camera, and the guy was like, our guide was surprised that I had it, and he was like, "Oh, it's a good thing you didn't get caught with that." Not that I can't have it, but just that I would have been charged money. So yeah, I think it's gonna be luck of the draw. I've seen other videos where people said they were caught with like tripods or their professional cameras, but can't bring that in. Something else is it costs about 600. I want to say it was like 615 pesos, which comes out to be about $35 US for entrance. With a tour company, that was already included, so we didn't have to pay for that. We haven't had to pay anything so far. Good tour.
Yeah, it was a good tour. He was very knowledgeable. He's actually not, Chris is not from Mexico. He's actually from France. So we got to reminisce on some of our France adventures and get to know a little bit more about him and his dog, Toby.
I think one of the things that made Chris a good guide was that he didn't try to, for lack of a better term, BS us. Like he fully acknowledged up front that they don't know a lot about these archaeological sites, and that a lot of the history is made up or is a what they think it was. So even he, looking at some of these things, some of these places, he was like, yeah, that's not real, or that's not maybe accurate. So I think that resonated with us, because we've been to a lot of places where they'll kind of make up history to make it, to almost romanticize it a little bit. So I think it was nice to have a tour guide that didn't try to do that, like just gave us what they knew and maybe what they thought it was, but didn't try to embellish it any more than that. Chichen Itza is one of the most visited wonders of the world. Over 2 million visitors annually. So as you can probably imagine, that makes for a really busy archaeological site. Now it's not as busy as what I would say maybe the Taj Mahal was. Like I said, we got here at 8 a.m. and it wasn't busy at all. So, but it's definitely gotten much busier as the day has gone on. Castillo, the Temple of Kukulkan, is the most iconic part of this site. What makes this one famous is that it's actually a pyramid, or a temple built on top of two others, built on top of a cenote. Obviously, Chichen Itza is much busier than someplace like Tulum, and begs the question of, should you even bother to come? Honestly, yes, if nothing else than for the historical part of it. If you're looking for someplace with less crowds, then another archaeological site like Tulum might be a better choice. But I think Chichen Itza is something that you ought to see at least once, and the crowds haven't been horrible. Yes, there's a lot of people, but it's spread out, so you're not getting everybody in your personal space. Like the Taj Mahal, everybody was packed up into one area to try to take pictures. Here, there's enough spots that you can kind of spread out and still get the pictures you want. Alex says we've had about as much fun as we can have at Chichen Itza for one day, so we're going to head back to the resort, and we'll catch up with you guys there.
So today was an eventful day. We woke up at 5:30 this morning, and
some of us woke up at 5:30.
I woke up at 5:36. Hold your britches. Anyway, and then we made the 2-hour trek out to Chichen Itza, which is a 2-hour drive from our hotel.
In Cancun.
In Cancun, yes. We booked a private tour, so we got a taxi or a private cab that came and picked us up, took us to where we would meet. It was about an hour and 20 minutes ish when we met our tour guide Chris, which he's fabulous, and made our way to Chichen Itza. And we spent probably, what, 2-3 hours?
Yeah, 3 hours there. Yeah, so we got there right at 8, which it opens at 8, and that was the whole point of getting up early, was to beat the crowds and be able to take some pictures and see the pyramid before it was.
100% recommend going early.
Yeah.
It gets hot, and I mean hot. There is no coverage
There's a
in
little bit of
the
shade.
main
Yeah.
area. If you're wanting to actually take in the pyramid and everything like that, you will be standing out in the sun. And our tour guide, Chris, he was telling us how it's actually pretty chilly today. And he's like, it's actually bearable, because he said 3 months from now, it's going to be awful. So we were there for a good 3 hours and then made the trek back, which another 2 hours back. And then we just got back from dinner. We decided to try out another restaurant tonight. It's called Dragons. And it's like kind of like an Asian Korean fusion. It was pretty good. Pretty
It was
good.
good. It's probably one of the better restaurants so far.
I had the best dessert I've had here. Like, everywhere desserts have come out and they've been pretty small portion. This one was their mango soup, and it was spot on delicious. And sushi was good.
Yeah.
I had some pad thai. My pad thai wasn't to write home about, but my edamame and my dim sum were good. We were exhausted, so we came back upstairs to say goodnight to you guys and
Catch you in the morning.